Hi, this is Mike Pyle. I'm here today to talk a little about Pega and how we use Scrum. This presentation is designed to introduce a little book that I wrote called Scrum at Pega. You should have a copy of the book. If not, then speak with your manager and make sure that you get your own copy to keep and to use. We expect that everyone who works in engineering at Pega will have read the book and will be committed to following the best practices that the book lays out. We're not trying to teach you Scrum here. There are other resources that can do that. Rather, we're trying to give you the context in which we decided to use Scrum at Pega, to highlight the way we operationalize Scrum, and to make it clear what aspects of Scrum we really value and which you should make sure that you understand and execute really well. In addition to the book, there is also a Scrum community site on the Mesh, where you will find additional resources that can help you to get the most out of Scrum. So, let's get started and look at some history, which should help us understand why we think Scrum is important.
Hi.
One of the references in the book is to a white paper that was written by the engineering manager at Salesforce.com. Now, Salesforce competes with us in the application development space and also in CRM, and is in many respects a company that has grown in a similar way to Pega. They're maybe a little ahead of us in their journey. You should check out that article. It's referenced in the book. Now, when I read that article, I realized that it could have been written about Pega. There were so many similarities. See, Pega was tiny for many years. We were blessed with an engineering team that has experience and talent. We didn't need process. We had great ideas, we kicked them around in a room, and then we just made them happen. Growth tends to stifle that kind of agility. You can't get everyone together quite so readily. Everybody no longer knows everything. Specialists develop. Things that were once easy suddenly don't just happen. You quickly realize that you need some kind of process discipline to keep things on track. Now, heavy process discipline, like the government standard specification processes, also known as waterfall, or heavy document-driven processes like RUP, which is the Rational Unified Process, can also be stifling. They also have some fatal flaws. They divert cycles and resources away from the real goal, which is the product, and they make it hard to adapt to change. Pega is in business to help other businesses to adapt to change, and it would make no sense for us to use processes that prevent us from doing that very thing. So when we went looking for a process framework, we wanted to instill enough discipline to restore our momentum and also to avoid stifling the very agility, adaptability, and creativity that is key to our success. Scrum does that. But remember, Scrum is a tool, not a goal. Successful companies are very good at understanding what drives their business and continuously looking to improve in those areas. For a product company, success comes primarily from building things that people want to buy. There are many aspects of that: usefulness, quality, price, service, availability, but they all must be considered from the perspective of the target audience. That audience is the customer who is going to spend the money to buy the product rather than something else. When we work on Pega's products, we need to always think of the outcome in the context of a customer and whether what we are building will compel them to want to keep buying from us. Being a customer for our own products is a great way to really understand the experience and make them better. We use some tools to help us measure things like productivity, quality, and efficiency because we believe that improving in these areas improves the product. However, we're careful to never lose sight of the only real goal, which is measured by answering the question: do people want to buy this? And that is shown very clearly in our sales results. That is why the major component in our corporate incentive plan, CICP, is focused on growth in bookings. So there's the context for our use of Scrum. Now, why did we pick Scrum?
I say electronics. Just buy Excel Electronics while the stock is cheap.
I would advise against it. You know what happened to Planet Electronics? They will never recover again. I say steel.
Go green, Mark. Green technologies are the future and your money will be safe.
Thank you, Tom. But electronics seem to be completely unpredictable of late. Nokia stock value dropped by 60% after Apple launched its iPhone. And Apple is not even an electronics company. No, Frank. Steel is good. As strong as steel itself. But I really can't wait that long. And Stella, green is good. But green requires a lot of patience.
Telecom?
Construction.
Oil?
Automobiles?
Heard Chicago Tribune's up for sale.
Starbucks?
Cosmetics.
Frankly, what do you have in mind, Mark?
A film production house that went public recently.
You mean a filmmaking outfit?
Mark.
Trust me, entertainment is the new IT.
I wouldn't deny that, actually.
Trust me, even in the unlikely case of the film flopping, the big studio sharks will notice how well made the film was and will back their future projects. If nothing else, at least this will help the stock go up. And that's all I'm interested in. Just buy in and sell out.
I'm with you, boss.
Okay.
At Pega, we expect our people to have opinions. We expect those opinions to be based on knowledge, experience, data, and facts. And we expect people to be constantly upgrading their perspective as they dig into a subject area. We expect our people to be passionate and compelling in arguing in support of their opinions, and equally open and thoughtful in considering alternative perspectives. Out of this, decisions get made, sometimes by agreement, sometimes because somebody just has to decide. Once a decision is made, then everybody gets behind it and makes it happen. Scrum sets up these decisions beautifully. It fits our culture perfectly. It provides just enough process discipline to sustain this rhythm of debate, decision, execution over the product development lifecycle. Scrum is a very widely used process framework. Some 74% of organizations use it somewhere. Each tends to adapt it to work best for them.
Yes, I say you call him.
Any alternative idea?
Let's see. No, I don't think so. Just call him, my dear, and you will thank me forever.
Okay.
Phone gone berserk?
Yes.
It's a phone? It works. It dials and it picks up. It's a phone.
Hello?
Pega's roots lie in engineering and technical disciplines. There is considerable experience and expertise in technology and in our products outside of the engineering division. This is unusual and a very powerful advantage for us. We're able to have early discussions about product features and user stories with senior management and product owners that engineers at other companies could only dream about. We share a common vocabulary and understanding. This allows us to leverage many perspectives in grooming stories and get to a more detailed definition of the needed outcome. The partnership between engineers and product owners is close and collaborative, while each understands the role and focus of the other. Successful teams display a great working partnership. They have a shared vision for what is important, that's what people will buy, and how to get that done. So Scrum is small and simple. There are a few things in Scrum that we really value, and you must understand how to do them well.